Hey, what's up, guys? Dr. Brian here from Magnolia Natural Medicine, here to do another herbal spotlight. So the herb I was thinking of doing today is right over here. Convenient, right there. So this is lady's mantle. If you want to take a look, when it's cut and sifted in its dry form, you'll find that it looks pretty run-of-the-mill. You know, it's a green leaf. But lady's mantle, or its Latin name, Alchemilla xanthochlora. It used to be known as Alchemilla vulgaris for some of you old schoolers out there. Same plant, different name. Botanists change the names a lot. Is in the rose family. So what we know about the rose family is predominantly it's a very safe family. Not a lot of contraindications. Not a lot of plants in this family are particularly risky. I always say the rose family puts its problems on the outside, right? Because roses have thorns, but on the inside, it's a very gentle medicine family, the whole botanical family. And Alchemilla is no exception. Lady's mantle, or Alchemilla, I will bounce back and forth with the name, is an astringent herb that is, and what astringent means is that it is tightening and tonifying to the tissues that it affects. And the thing we use lady's mantle the most for is for female reproductive concerns, including things like prolapses, but also like even diarrhea it can be helpful for. It's not a particularly powerful herb in that it doesn't do that whole heroic medicine thing. You're not going to find that it's going to just blow you away. But at the same token, it's often added to formulas and can be used on its own in less severe situations. Its Latin name, Alchemilla, refers to the fact that, and this is very cool, I'll see if I can get a picture for it, and I'll put it up there somewhere when I learn how to edit videos, is the fact that the plant actually does some sort of reverse osmosis and causes a little, all the dew collects in the middle of the plant and creates this beautiful silver orb. And they always felt that that was like alchemy, and it was believed if you drank enough of that, you would become, very bright or a very successful alchemist. What was also born out of that was this theme of transformation, because alchemists are really ancient chemists and were very concerned about how to transform things and how things were changing in a microscopic world they couldn't see, not even microscopic really. And I feel personally that Alchemilla works in that way. It often helps people transform out of pretty negative circumstances. So if I have a female patient who's concerned about, is having female reproductive concerns where I feel Alchemilla is warranted, and she's also talking in this thematic way around wanting to change, wanting to transform, seeing herself as something else and not knowing how to get there, or not knowing how to shed a negative view of herself. One way this really pops up most commonly is people identify as their disease. I am PCOS. I am a person with PCOS. Or some other concern, and they forget that they are an individual who may have a condition, but there's a lot of identifying as disease that happens pretty commonly, especially with things that are chronic, and it's completely understandable how somebody could end up there, but it does tend to create some sort of circular negative feedback about their personality and their day-to-day life. And again, this is not to say that that is how they got there was wrong. They're dealing with something very serious. But Alchemilla really helps to, or Lady's Mantle really helps to shed that idea. I often tell people about that lesson, the lesson of Lady's Mantle, as I use it. And so yeah, that's definitely, it's a great plant. It's a lesser known, lesser utilized plant, and I don't know why. It grows really readily, it's ecologically sustainable, and it's really just quite good for you, and it doesn't have a lot of contraindications. Oddly, when I did a little research for this video, the main contraindication is that it may antagonize the drug Pitocin, which, if you don't know, Pitocin is used in induction of labor and delivery, and since it is a female reproductive herb, I see how people might have been dosing Lady's Mantle during labor, but just go ahead and skip it for that part right there. And otherwise there's really no other contraindications. It's not necessarily bad for children. It's not really useful for children necessarily, but I wouldn't be worried if a child got it. And in pregnancy, I probably would go ahead and not use it. I personally am very conservative with herbs in pregnancy, but otherwise I would probably just use it, you know, mostly as a tea. I prefer it in a hot water extraction. That's because a lot of its medicinal virtues come from tannins, which are extracted very well in hot water. But also, if you were to find a commercial-based tincture, you know, from any of the random brands, Gaia, Wise Woman Herbals, any of those, of whom I am not affiliated, a dose of like 10 to 40 drops, or basically one dropper full, 1 to 4 times a day, is a pretty standard dose to see if you're going to get any effect. So yeah, that is it on Ladies Mantle. Do you guys have any questions, any comments, any concerns? Feel free to comment down below. All right, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this video.